backtracking, base running, missed cutoff men, bad bobbles, flat-out drops, and all kinds of other fundamental issues. One thing seems to have gotten lost. Good morning to you. Good Tuesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I have something for that too. I've got daily shots of Steelers and Penguins that I hope you'll also check out. Rays 6, Pirates 1 last night in Tampa, Florida. This at the Yankees spring home, the Rays' temporary home there. Carmen Mlodzinski got hit around in the fourth inning, gave up 4 runs. That was pretty much the entire event, really. I'm not a big fan when it comes to baseball of suggesting that, well, that was too much and they just kind of packed it in and went away. But that's how it looked like. That's how it felt. And you want to know something? If the Pirates were lucky, that's how it would be, because that would mean it would be a question of effort as opposed to just not being able to hit. 4 total hits in this one. One of those for extra bases, and Endy Rodriguez double, and that's it. So through 5 games, the Pirates are 1-4, and they're batting a collective 183 with 3 home runs in those 5 games. And I'm going to remind you, they're in Florida, so this isn't one of those cold weather adjustments they need to make to start swinging the bats. They've been in Florida for 2 full months. If anything, they should have more of an advantage on everyone in baseball in this specific regard. But they don't, and they won't, because they can't hit. There are going to be all kinds of distractions to the expected main storyline for this team, at least my expected storyline. But it's all still going to bounce back to this every single time. They have one player who can hit, Brian Reynolds. They have one player who can still produce enough professional at-bats to be productive. That's Andrew McCutchen, and I say that with nothing but respect. And then that's it, kids. That's all they've got. So no amount of rotation shuffling or working on the fringes, or what was the word he used, or the margins, Derek Shelton said, and becoming more sound defensively. None of that's going to alter the big headline atop the article, and that's that they can't hit. What's more, I don't know that there's some sort of solution in sight. In years past, I would point to, say, this guy or that guy who's with Indianapolis who could be brought up or prioritized over someone who's in Pittsburgh, obviously for defense or worse, versatility, as opposed to just doing everything that you can to put together a lineup with your 9 best guys, meaning your 9 best hitters. Now, do I like what Oneil Cruz can bring? Sure. Do I like what he's brought to date offensively? Actually, kind of, yeah. He's drawn a lot of walks, and that's what he should be doing right now. Not necessarily seeking the walks out, but they're not pitching to him. And the reason that they're not pitching to him is that the team as a whole can't hit, and you wouldn't pitch to him either. But if I sound like I've got some skepticism about Cruz in this scenario, it's because I do. I don't see Oneil as having the type of personality where he's just going to walk 400 times. It's going to become frustrating for him. And it's going to lead to some lunges outside the zone, which will lead to some bad results, which will lead into one of those lulls that he's had in the past. What he needs is what Reynolds needs, is what Kutch needs, which is more guys who can hit. This was what Shelton had to say about the Pirates' last couple of performances. Said this after the game last night in Tampa to reporters, including our own Greg McAfee on the scene.
It looks like we're a little bit defensive, and I think we got to be a little bit more aggressive. I mean, we're in a situation here. I mean, you're seeing big arms. Yeah. I mean, everybody that comes out of their bullpen. I mean, it's the Rays pitching mantra. I mean, it's hard and it's at you. I don't think they threw a pitch under 95 today. So it looked like we were a little bit on our heels, and we got to be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, no. The Pirates need people who can hit. Now, I'll give a little bit of credit where it's due here in the moment to Ben Cherington for going and getting Alexander Canario last night. This is not some earth-shattering franchise-shifting move here. Canario's 23 years old, which is nice, and he's spent some small amount of time in the majors, 21 games, batted .286 with an .857 OPS and 42 at-bats. He has hit well in the minors, but he's also been cut loose by two different teams now in just the past handful of months. And my guess is that they didn't do that because, oh my God, our rosters are so overloaded that we just can't keep Canario around. So what you're doing here, if you're Cherington, is the right thing to do, which is what any GM should be doing when they see this lineup, and that's to fish a little bit. But there was another way. There was always another way. There was a way where you could have drafted bats. You could have acquired bats internationally. You could have hit on some guys, good value guys, didn't have to be zillion-dollar guys in free agency. And yet here we are in the year 2025. And when we're talking about Pirates who can hit, we are still talking about Reynolds, acquired by Neil Huntington, Cruz, acquired by Neil Huntington, and Kutch, acquired by Dave Littlefield. That's insanity. Cherington's been on the job for half a decade. He's yet to produce a single, consistent, reliable bat over the long haul, over 5+ years on the job. Remember where it starts. When we come back, J1Q.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org. That's gunstoragecheck.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Today's J1Q comes from Greg, who says, DK, good morning, my friend. Good morning back to you, Greg. How is it that the I'm smarter than you and you know it executive team over on Federal Street, along with its Department of Lab rats, weren't able to be first to the market with the bowling pin bats that the Yankees are using, and are those here to stay? Well, whether they're here to stay or not, that's going to be determined by Major League Baseball. They're definitely coming here, meaning to Pittsburgh, this weekend. Now, the Yankees do have guys who can hit home runs. I don't know if they have guys who can hit 8 or 9 of them a game, as they did against Milwaukee, in drawing all this attention to those bats. I don't know that Jazz Chisholm is going to keep pace with Aaron Judge. But here's what I do know. And I've brought this up before, not related to these bats or any equipment or anything specific. The Pirates, these Pirates, under Ben Cherington, don't innovate. The next original idea that they'll put forth will be the first. And that's something that's, listen, if you had an analytics army of, I don't know, 250 people. There were so many of them that they had to expand across Federal Street to build on top of Mike's Beer Bar and the North Shore Tavern. Make like a skyscraper over there of all these analytics geniuses. And they were actually producing something for you of worth that's visible, that's tangible. You could do it all day. You could expand into infinity with it. one thing that's often misconstrued about some of my commentary is that I'm anti-analytics. They got to be further from the truth. I'm anti-stupidity. I'm anti-waste. If they're spending $4 or $5 million a year on their analytics department, that's $4 or $5 million that could just go into some dude who can hit. Because if it would do that, then it would be the first hitter that Cherington were to put onto the field in his tenure, which I will repeat is insane. What you want your analytics people to do is to beat the system, not join the system, not be part of the system, not go with the flow of the system. Beat it. It's an unfair system. It's stacked against you if you're the Pirates. It's like Billy Beane said, was quoted in Moneyball, both the book and the movie. Read the book, by the way. Don't just go see the movie. Read the book. The book is infinitely better, and I liked the movie a lot. He said, there are the teams that have the money, then there are the bottom feeders, then there's 50 feet of crap, and then there's us at the bottom. We have to do things differently. We have to beat what's in front of us. Study different things. Analyze. Gather data on. Think about things differently. And I share something, it's relevant, believe it or not, even though it's a hockey thing, from the Penguins practice yesterday. At one point, Mike Sullivan, who's the head coach for those of you people who never follow anything other than baseball, Sullivan is out on the ice, and the Penguins are doing a 3-on-3 drill, and a couple of sticks end up on the ice, which is not good because you're not of much use to anybody in that sport without a stick. And he pauses the drill. He gets mad. He barks out that we, meaning the Penguins, lead the league in dropped sticks. Hang on to your sticks. Well, I'm here to tell you that NHL.com does not track dropping your stick. That's done by the team. That's done by the Penguins analytics department. Now, if all that results in is informing your head coach about it, and then he goes out on the ice and seizes an opportunity to let everybody become aware of this and to know that he doesn't appreciate it and that he wants them to grip the thing a little bit tighter, and that allows you to win one game out of the 82 that are played in the NHL. That's worthwhile analytics. That's also thinking way outside the box. So no, the Pirates weren't going to come up with these bats. They might get punished by them, though, this weekend. I appreciate the question. Really good one. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Pirates. And we'll be back with another one of these tomorrow.